we shine. Giving fans what they need, Caribbean spirit, let's succeed. Every show with a good deed, together we plant the seed. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host we belong.
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or
Looking for the ultimate island experience? Hop on the Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tour and explore Grenada like never before. Feel the tropical breeze, sip on authentic Caribbean rum punch, and cruise through Grenada's stunning scenery in our unique and fun tuk-tuks. It's the perfect blend of adventure and island flavor. Book your unforgettable tour now at ride.gd or call 473-422-1011. Don't just see Grenada, experience it with Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tours today.
Welcome to Ride Along Live. Welcome to the ride. Ah, boy. As you guys come and go ahead and share up the live, guys, because we have much to talk about, much to discuss this evening. And we're not late, by the way. We were all set up to start on time, but we wanted the budget debate to conclude. And then we'll come on, because, whew, what a day. What a day. First of all, guys, let me apologize to some of our loyal viewers, because the day started off really, 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 really bad, right? First and foremost, we started the first part of the debate on Ride Along Live, and the minute time the debate started, I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know why it happened to us, but we had a huge spam attack. The page Ride Along Live had a huge spam attack. Imagine over 1 million people came in on Ride Along Live and started to post profanity or some foreign language or just distraction. And it gave our moderators and even our tools that's provided to us to fix these issues, you know, it left us unable to even deal with the situation. Imagine 1 million. I've seen spam before. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why we were attacked. But over 1 million spammers from all over, like somebody invoked the dead around the world. I don't know. And it was nothing but distraction. And the funny thing about it is, guys, they only targeted our page, and they only targeted the live, the debate, right? And it was very frustrating, by the way. So again, we apologize for that. It was not our fault. I got calls and messages from some of our loyal viewers asking us what's happening here. Some people even opted to leave, and because they thought that this is the unmoderated page and we letting anything happen. But there was no way, there's no possible way that we could have banned or blocked everyone that came onto the page and posting the profanity or whatever they was posting, right? And again, the tools, Facebook need to do better. I even send messages to them. Facebook need to do better because, guys, I mean, it was frustrating for us. It was very, very frustrating, right? And I hope that we fix that problem and that problem don't happen again. And again, for those of you who were on the page and saw what happened and felt insulted by some of the comments or somehow saw the attack and reaching out to us, a loyal fan base or supporters or top fans, we sincerely apologize. But there was no way for us to delete all the messages that was coming in the magnitude in which these messages was coming in. And if you look back on the page now, you'll see there's the particular broadcast was viewed over 2 million times. All right, so it was difficult. Anyway, guys, Showdown in Parliament today. Boy, you know, I'm not gonna go any further before I bring on my guest, who is gonna help me assess this whole thing here today. He is what? Glasses? My good friend, my partner in crime, Mr. Kim Jones. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks, Junior. It's always a pleasure to be on your popular platform. I saw that amount of viewership while the debate was going on, and at the time, I said, "Well, Grenada is on the world stage, you know,
Yeah.
1 point something million." But I kind of sense something was wrong, right? But it's sad that happened, and I know you're a strong man. When it comes to technology, those things do happen.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you, he put every part of our coordinating team at work today. I mean, everybody was fully engaged in trying to avert, and it could have gotten worse. It was going worse. So we had to do all sorts of things, Kim, the tools that I didn't even think that we had to implement it to just savor the embarrassment of the platform. And I just had to really apologize for what people saw, what was said, and some of the things that was not really kosher for airwaves. So it is what it is, my friend. So what's up? How you doing? How you been today?
No, I'm fine, thanks. You know, I followed the debates, yesterday, today, and I was not surprised with the behavior of Keith Mitchell and Emlyn Pear. And then you had Clarice and Kate following. I was not surprised. In fact, I predicted, I spoke to about 3 friends yesterday, saying to them that Keith Mitchell wants the limelight. He wants the attention. And he will do something stupid, something dumb, something disrespectful, something out of taste, just to get the 15 seconds of fame, because people are talking about that now and not the pay and grade for police officers who since 1994 been fighting for pay and grade, meaning they wanted to be on the same level, on par with nurses and teachers and, you know, that kind of stuff. So they were negotiating, fighting. NNP never wanted to entertain that. And now a constable, for example, will see his salary jump by $700. So let us suppose that constable started off with 1,002 as an example, or let's say 1,003. That constable will now see $3,000 or so a pay on his salary. And then you go up the ranks, they would fall into the scale that they're supposed to, and the grade, well, let's say grade. Good. But people are not talking about that. You're talking about 1,000 plus police officers being positively impacted by this move, right? We are not hearing people talk about the regularization of public officers, giving them permanency. Talking about 455 public officers already got regularized, made permanent. They could go to a financial institution, they could get a loan, they could, start something. And then the government indicated that by now and a half of the year, they intend to regularize at least 1,262 workers. Those who are on contract or some letter or some PSC letter, Public Service Commission letter, something like that. They are focused on them. And then by December, January, they're about coming to the end of the year, the beginning of next year, they intend to regularize the next batch. But people are not going to talk about that because, Keith Mitchell, usual clown in the theater, performed as a clown. And what was very telling was when he walked out and Emlyn followed. And people started to ask, but who is the leader of the opposition? But I told you a long time ago, well, let me not say a long time ago, when the convention took place with the NNP, I said to you, Keith Mitchell is the remote control. Emlyn Pear is the NNP TV, and Gregory Bowen is the manual. But Keith Mitchell is the remote control. She's a puppet. Emlyn Pear is a puppet leader. She cannot operate on her own. She's not independent. You see, she read from this, it comes across as some file or some booklet prepared for her by whoever, and it came across as a Keith Mitchell flavored content, because that's how Keith Mitchell operates. Bacchanalish, boisterous, want some kind of tebe, some kind of confrontation, lacking substance, but the loudest in the room. That is how she came across. And this card that the NNP using, this woman card, quote unquote woman card, this is utter rubbish, because it's about competence. It's about leadership. It's about your ability to lead in a time of crisis, in good times. In other words, you could be a man or a woman. I am not judging you by your gender. I am not interested in your gender, right? I am interested in a person who is capable of leading this country to prosperity, to betterment. That is what you want, and that is what we see in the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell. He has he keeps his composure. He's intelligent. He's a visionary. He outlines stuff step by step by step, and what he wants to see for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Today, what caught me or seized my attention was when he said, we are not only invested in concrete, but we are invested in people. Because I have said so over and over, this concrete mindset that if you don't build a hotel, you're not developing anything. If you don't build some guest house, you're not developing anything. If you don't build something concrete. But when you talk about hundreds of young people getting training opportunities, hundreds of young people getting scholarships and other things like that, falling into programs where they can earn a daily bread thereafter, that moved me bigly. You looking at farmers, 23 point something million dollars, brother, injected in the hands of farmers. First time that ever happened. The very, very first time. Ivan Pass, Emily passed under NNP. In fact, nearly every bad thing passed under NNP, Mini bug, chikungunya, COVID, Ivan, Emily, drought, what else? Storm surge, Lenny, every bad thing. But anyways, I'm saying it is the very first time that the government, central government, took money from the coffers and handed it directly to the farmers. You're talking about thousands of farmers received $23+ million, that went directly back into the economy. They planted, they cleaned, they replanted, they did stuff in the farm. And that is why you have a glut, Junior. Tomatoes, cabbage, even in a dry season, tomatoes, cabbage, lettuce, you just name it. Plenty stuff on the market. But I am simply saying, with all that was discussed today, all that was put forward yesterday, what people are talking about now is Keith Mitchell bad behavior. And that is sad, because you're talking about a budget $1.9 billion. People should be all interested in knowing what in that for us. Trinidad, Carriacou got an increase, a significant increase from, I think, 33 point something million to 44 or so million dollars. It augurs well for Carriacou and PT Martinique. You have Honorable Andy Williams, for example. I think his allocation the last time was 50 million.
Yeah.
Now he's about what? 47 million?
46 million or something.
$47 million
in
that particular ministry, and he's doing a fantastic job. You heard the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell speak about the things that he did without the $10,000 constituency allowance, by teaming up with private sector, by teaming up with people in the diaspora, by teaming up with concerned citizens who just want to see good for the constituency. And with his own money, he was able to do all that he listed, from sewing to cricket, to community centers, to wash program, and we can go on and on, fixing this road, fixing that road, drain, that house, that, helping this one, helping that one, right? Providing computers to the less fortunate students and so on. We can go on and on. He did so without the 10,000 constituency allowance. And he made the point that they did not give him his $10,000 for the last 15 months. So while those on the opposition side, well, at least Pedro, made it very clear that he's grateful, he's thankful for the $10,000, and he, wish that more can be given. But you have a prime minister, an MP. Let's forget about prime minister now. MP for St. David, the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell, who took on his own, come up with initiatives, partner with people, and do stuff in the constituency. Why those folks on the opposition side, Junior, cannot take the initiative and do some things in the constituency? You know what our beloved Prime Minister said today? He said, but why are we not hearing from those MPs as it relates to that $10,000, what they did with it, Junior?
Yeah, well, I heard you spoke about that earlier today, right? And I don't think everyone was clear on that, because it was never really made. I mean, they spoke about it, but it was never really made clear that the opposition get that $10,000 as well.
Yes.
But they don't speak. You're not hearing that. Like I heard they spoke on it as, when folks come to them for assistance, they would send them or say, well, we don't have or we never got. So they actually have monies allocated to them so they can help their constituents.
Of course, and that is why our beloved Prime Minister made that point today and made it very clear, saying, but why not give us an update, right? Give us an update. I really want an update. So, for example, if you are in Emlyn Pear's constituency, she should say, well, this is what I did in the last 15 months.
Right.
Because remember, 15 months by 10,000, you're looking at $150,000, huh?
Right, yeah.
When you add that all up. So, same thing should be done for the other MPs, even on the government side. At least we've seen what the MPs and the government side doing with the money.
Right.
But for example, let's say Kate Lewis, I think her name is, what's her name? Lewis or Peters, something like
Lewis
that.
Peters.
Right. This woman, and I wish you had that clip, this goodly lady went in the parliament and had all kinds of stuff to say about the school feeding program, the hot meal program. And I was like, but why not come up with ways and means to help the schools, at least in your constituency, with some money from the constituency allowance? And you don't have to spend all on the schools. Why not also work with the farmers in your constituency or the fishers in your constituency? So when they have excess, Grenadians are nice people. We are not greedy people. If you have a lot of bananas behind your house and the MP or the school approach you to say, well, when you have excess, you could give us, or citrus, for example. When you have excess, you could give us, so we could pulp it, we could squeeze it, we could make juice with it for the kids. Because remember, the schools will get a supply they would use. It will get low from time to time, right? But I'm saying, why not help? Why not come up with some way, some means to help? Just as our beloved Prime Minister stated today, he did so with all the 10,000 constituency allowance. So instead of going and comment and laugh more or less about a program that's feeding 13,000 students, a free meal, 13,000 students are receiving a free meal. This is no joke. So as an MP receiving the $10,000 constituency allowance, and they increase their salary. Junior, they're getting a lot of money now, $5,000 a month. So when they walk out today, Junior, what should happen? There should be a deduction in the money that they expect to receive at month end, because they were there to do the people's business. And I am saying somebody has to call it out.
Right.
Somebody has to call it out. I am saying they walk out today, but they still getting a full salary come the end of the month. So who will call out and say, but wait, that's unfair? Junior, if you don't work for a full day, you can't get a full day pay? Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
I'm saying all of this because this is important. You criticize the school feeding program. You're getting $10,000 every month as constituency allowance. You're not spending it on none of those schools, but you have all kind of bad things to say. Why not organize the farmers, organize the fishers, organize the people in your constituency, and see what you can do to help? Look at the Project 500. The woman had the gall to go in the parliament and talk about Project 500 in a very demeaning way. Do you know that Project 500 started in the woman's constituency? Dumfriend is her constituency, She should be proud and happy that they're starting the project in her constituency, where her constituents might just get first preference with those houses. 17 houses. Come on, you should be happy. Grenadian style houses. And the woman, she went on to talk about 17 houses, and they say they go build 500 houses in a year. Lies, and more lies. Junior, do you believe that any government, could be NNP, PLM, GLP, NDC, could build 500 Grenadian style houses in a year? It's just impossible. We don't have the manpower, and I may even go further to say, to get that kind of resources, to just dedicate it to those houses just like that, it's very likely that it will not happen, right?
And ignore all the other necessities. Before you go on, let me just say this really quickly. That I'm getting some comments here stating from you, the viewers, that you cannot comment. Now, this was as a result of earlier, we had a massive spam attack. So we had to do some limitation filter to prevent some people from posting. Now, that was not targeted to anyone in particular. that was targeted to the spammers. So as we go on, we're going to drop down that filter. So if you are following, if you are not following right along, you need to follow the program. So you need to click follow, you need to follow the program. That's one designation. You have to follow the program in order to be able to comment from here on, right? The next thing is the next thing is you have to have a picture on your profile. So if you don't have a picture, they're not going to allow you to comment either. Again, we have to limit the threshold in order to prevent the attacks. And as we, filter the filter, we're gonna include more people on. So if you cannot comment right now, this is why. We're not targeting, or we didn't target anyone in particular, right? I'm getting comments. A lot of people cannot comment. But that is as a result of what happened earlier today. At the same time, you probably cannot comment, but you could call. So the phone lines are wide open from the beginning of the program. If you want to speak about something in particular, you could call us live on WhatsApp or on the live or on the regular phone line, 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. I'm going to keep that number there in case you guys don't know it or in case you forget. 718-701-5720. Again, we apologize, guys. We had a massive attack earlier, and we had to fix the problem by limiting some of the threshold and adding some filters to prevent some people from commenting. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So Junior, for me, and I think many people in Grenada and Grenadians in the diaspora, they would petition the government, petition our beloved Prime Minister, to see what can be done to reduce the amount of money given to the opposition MPs. Constituency allowance, the $10,000, that needs to be reduced or removed totally from them. The increase in their salary, that too needs to be addressed. Because you cannot tell me, because the speaker ruled, you just decide you could pick up your bag and you're gone. Later.
And I have that clip. I want to show it later. But hold on, Kim, stick a pin right there. I got a caller on the line. Let's take that caller on the line right now. Caller, where are you calling us from?
Hi, Junior, calling from Canada. Good evening.
Canada, go right ahead.
Good evening. Junior, I was listening to Kim, right? And Kim was saying that they want to give them vehicles. I don't think they should do that. Let them find their own vehicle, because at the end of the day, they're getting $10,000 and they're not doing anything with it. The last time when she was, I remember when she was in Parliament, when Kate was in Parliament and she was on Shane and somebody take her out, she was asking them to investigate, to find. That's what they should do. They should call them up in Parliament and ask them to give her a rollout about what they're doing with the money, because they're getting $10,000. They still cannot show what they're doing with it, but they have all kind of nonsense to say about NDC. NMP never do really nothing. Everything they have in the pipeline, but when NDC do something for the country, they have big problem. All what NMP do is just complain, and they need to stop it. If and then something I realized about NDC for all the years I know NDC is way too nice. They're way too nice, because they keep doing good for these NMP people and they keep running them down. First of all, they should cut off the $10,000 and no vehicle. Grenada people should sign petition. No vehicle for them and cut off the $10,000, because they are very ungrateful. And as Kem was saying, the pay should cut. You can't go in to do the people of Grenada work and walk out from it and expect to get the money, the full pay. Because when teachers was demonstrating, he cut their pay. Cut them off. Cut it off. Thank you. Have a good evening.
All right, thank you,
They're too disrespectful now.
All right, thank you, caller. Thank you so much. We have another caller on the direct phone lines. Caller, you're live. Where are you calling us from? Hello?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, go right ahead. You're
Hello,
live.
Brooklyn.
Yes, caller, go right ahead. You're live.
Yes, Ken, good evening to you.
Good evening.
I really would like you to speak more on what had happened this evening with the opposition walking out when they should have been sitting there. I don't know if Grenadians are looking at that, But for me, this is disrespect to the highest. And those are things that we have to talk about. Leaders supposed to be leading by example. And I mean, I don't understand why persons in authority can feel that they can do anything they want, how they want, where they want, and it's
Hold on.
okay when they do it. But if somebody else was about to do it, everybody would be talking, Kem. So, Kem, you need to speak more on this thing. It was high disrespect. And we should not tolerate that in Grenada. Come on, man. Something has to be done. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, caller, for that input. We do have another caller on the line. Let's take that right now, and then you comment after. Caller, you live. Go right ahead on the WhatsApp.
Hey, good night.
Hey, good night.
I can comment under the live. All what I do, I can't comment.
Okay, all right. I understand. We're fixing it. We will fix it. Because as I said earlier, what happened was the problem with the scammers, the spammers today. So
Okay, I hope I get fixed. Anyway, okay. I find the $10,000 that was given to these goons, take it back, and don't give them any vehicle. They go ride out at Parliament with vehicles. Let it walk out. Because I'm walking out. Don't give them vehicles. Take back the $10,000. Because if it was NDC in opposition, NDC never get that. So don't give them. I find they should take it back because they're not doing anything in the constituency. When people go to them, they're telling people they're not in office, go to the MP who is in office. That is ridiculous. So what they're doing with the money? Shopping on Shein and Timo, and buying all this at lipstick and so? Take it back. Okay?
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Yeah, Kem?
Yeah, no, that caller, the caller has me cracking up. I recognize the voice of the caller. So let me say to Lydia, I like the piece where you said, don't give them the vehicle because they may not walk out the next time. They may drive out of the parliament. All right. Well, our Prime Minister spoke at length about the vehicle for every constituency. And look, I am a person who can tell you openly, I will defend our Prime Minister everywhere and anywhere. He's a gentleman that is dear to my heart. He's decent. He's a visionary. But you see, when it comes to politics and the NNP MPs and supporters, generally, they're ungrateful. And I make no apologies about that. They're very ungrateful. NNP been in power for 23 years and a half. You ever hear NNP giving NDC MPs anything? But here it is. Some people may say, well, they were there with all 15. No. Between 2003 and 2008, it was 7-8. NDC had 7 seats and NNP had 8. And NDC lost Carrick, I think, by 6 or 7 votes. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying all of this to say they never even thought about giving a vehicle to all the MPs or increasing the salaries of the MPs or giving constituency allowance to the MPs. No, you're mad. But the caller made it very clear earlier. NDC has always been very nice. And when you're too nice, it tends to be a problem over time. Because you see, politics in itself is political warfare, anyhow you look at it. Sometimes you have to make your enemy know that you're the boss, you're in charge, and they're not going to be equals on the table. Keith Mitchell's conduct today, Junior, caused people to think that he's in charge. The Speaker of the House was speaking to the man, giving chats and talking back as though he was in charge.
Yeah.
But I really wish...
Go ahead.
Yeah, I really wish the Speaker of the House had ordered the Sergeant of Arms to drag Keith Mitchell out of the Parliament today. That would have been a better story. That Keith Mitchell, who's been in the Parliament for 40 years, he's the grandpa, the old man in Parliament, they just drag him out of the Parliament today. I think people would have been jumping in the streets. because people are looking forward to that day, because he's just too frequent with his bad conduct, his disrespect, and his distasteful and disgraceful behavior.
All right, so let's get a whole context of what really happened today. We're going to look at it, and then we're going to try to explain what happened. All right, so this is the first clip of what transpired today that caused the back and forth in Parliament. Check it out.
Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and pleasant afternoon to you. So, Mr. Speaker, I don't see any of the members of the opposition present, and the only one who has not contributed to the debate is the Member of Parliament for St. George North West. No, I think it's fine. I think I'm being heard clearly. Mr. Speaker, just so that we are clear, if I speak, I will use my prerogative to conclude the debate as Prime Minister. So I am prepared to seek clarification. I'm not sure whether you were able to ascertain the whereabouts of the Member of Parliament for St. George Northwest, and I'm happy to give him the opportunity to make his contribution to the debate. And so if you need to take an additional recess to ascertain that he wishes to so do, I am fine. But if not, I will exercise my prerogative as the Prime Minister and obviously be the one to conclude the debates.
Honourable MP, I did contact both yourself and the Honourable MP for St. George Northwest on the issue. And I expect him to be here if he wanted to make his contribution to the debate. I suggest that he proceed.
Thank you.
Right, so Kem, sum it up for us at this point. What happened there?
You realize that our beloved Prime Minister wanted to give way to allow Keith Mitchell to speak. Because remember, there was a recess, I think 3 minutes, 4 minutes, because the Prime Minister was not there and Keith Mitchell was not there. Although they were somewhere in the compound. I want to assume that our beloved Prime Minister was engaging the Speaker of the House from Canada, right? Because he was actually there. But anyways, the Speaker of the House consulted both of them because the Honorable Dennis Cornwall, Minister of Finance, he stood almost ready to wrap up the thing. And when the Speaker recognized that, as he began to speak, the Speaker recessed. And that's the Speaker's right. The Speaker could call a recess, a break. And he consulted both Keith Mitchell and our Prime Minister. So there was an agreement. All right? So Parliament resumed, and Keith Mitchell did not come back in time to present. But thereafter, he came back in the House. And I don't know if you have that next piece where the drama happened.
Yeah, I have that piece.
So, right. Yeah. So our Prime Minister said clearly, I am willing to give way to allow him to speak, but I will be the one before the last person to speak here. Before the Minister of Finance speaks, I will speak. Because, you know, Keith Mitchell wants the last say. He wants to get on with his, you know, usual show. Because he's a showman, right? So I am simply saying the argument that they are making, the opposition making, saying, well, the standing orders, 40 says that this is how it's supposed to happen. The last person to speak supposed to be the Minister of Finance. But the Speaker said the Minister of Finance only on the advice of the Prime Minister. So the Prime Minister has to direct that person speaks, right? But again, there was a consultation, there was an engagement. The Speaker took time to engage both parties, both individuals, and there was an agreement. You see, there was an agreement. So he didn't come back because Keith Mitchell looking for Melee, Bacchanal, Tebe. He's a frock man, you know. Keith Mitchell is a frock man, you know. He's a frock man. They go by the river just to beat Tebe and count people business. Keith Mitchell is a Tebe man. He's a frock man. So he, in my belief, drag. So our Prime Minister came back, started off, and then the Speaker instructed our Prime Minister to go ahead. The Speaker is in charge of the House. The Speaker is in charge of the House. And he says, I would advise you to proceed. So Keith Mitchell came in now, and I am certain you have that piece with his clown show.
All right, let's look at the other piece. After that happened, then we had this happen while the Prime Minister was presenting. Let's take a look. This is a little lead up before. Take a look.
To do so, we have to secure the funds for doing so. We're not joking around about this issue. We are serious about it. And therefore, this year, Mr. Speaker, we intend to, if necessary, contract the loan so that we have the financing in place. And hence the reason for coming to Parliament to seek the authorization. So you see, Mr. Speaker, we are transparent. We are clear. We are coming and laying before this House and therefore before the public any borrowings that we need to do. We are not going and trying to, in some back room, raise borrowings or debt on behalf of the people of Grenada without the people knowing about it. So, again, there is no need for us to believe a lot of the noise in the market about whether or not...
Is there a point of order?
Yes.
Is there a point of order?
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Mitchell.
Mr. Speaker, I just need serious point of order as to what really is happening in this House at this particular time. I just need clarity because that's clearly a breach of the fundamental rules of the Parliament. I want to know what is the situation as far as the budget motion mover and who is closing the debate. Who is closing the debate? I just want to know what's happening, Mr. Speaker. Because as a serious member of this House, I believe it's necessary for us to obey the rules of the House.
All right, the question is asked. Yeah?
Yes, I need to know exactly what is happening.
Yes.
That will determine what I do relative to my own situation in this House at this time.
Right. The Honorable Prime Minister has decided that he will be the one to close the debate.
Wait, okay. Mr. Speaker, listen, is that the Prime Minister may wish to close the debate, but the mover of the motion has to first decide he has to give the Prime Minister, whoever it is, the responsibility to close. So is the mover of the motion agreeing and deciding that he will not be able to speak going forward? Although because, Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Finance got up and started to move the motion to close the debate. And that is his fundamental right as the Minister of Finance. We are all equals here in this House, you know. Different, whether
Dr. Mitchell.
Minister,
Dr. Mitchell.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. This is a serious statement, Mr. Speaker. Here, and I really wish that we need to obey the rules of the House.
Dr. Mitchell, the Speaker is on his feet.
Yeah, yes, go ahead.
Now, let me just read it for the benefit of the House, right? We're talking about the standing orders. And you will see it's not the minister, it's the Prime Minister who made the decision. I'll read what the standing order says. I'll read it for the hearing of everyone.
Mr.
No, Dr. Mitchell, the Speaker is on the floor. Let me do what I said I'm doing.
Well, Mr. Speaker, you're getting mad with me.
No, I'm getting mad with you.
Yeah, well,
I'm on the floor.
Mr. Speaker.
Dr. Mitchell, let me read.
Rules,
I'm reading the rules.
Mr. Speaker, you're an umpire.
Dr. Mitchell, I'm reading the rules. Allow me to.
An umpire. You are not a member of the government.
Dr. Mitchell, don't argue with the Speaker. No, I'm reading the rules.
I am arguing with the Speaker, Mr. Speaker.
Could you please turn off your mic, Dr. Mitchell?
I am. I'm not.
Right. So let me read the rules.
Obey the rules.
The rule says, Standing Orders 40, subsection 5, I want everybody to listen. The minister finally concluding the debate whether the Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance, or any other minister designated by the Prime Minister, may speak for 1.5 hours in addition to his earlier speech on the budget if he had already so spoken. Designated by who? The Prime Minister. So it's not the minister's decision, it's the Prime Minister's decision.
Mr. Speaker, let me just make this point. The Minister of Finance got up. Already, what you're talking about there has gone past that. The Minister of Finance got up to close the debate. That is what he did. If this was decided before, then the Prime Minister would get up at the appropriate time and whoever the minister designate. He has to designate, I don't care who it is. He is the mover of the motion, Mr. Speaker.
Right.
And therefore what you're talking about, a decision of the Prime Minister make. Grandson is no boss in this house. He's just a member of the House.
Dr. Mitchell?
Mr. Speaker, he is a member of
Honorable
the House.
Please resume your seat.
Say he wants to give.
Please resume your seat.
I heard the Prime Minister say he wants
Please resume your seat, Dr. Mitchell.
Yeah, always say him to give me a seat.
Resume your seat,
I'm your
please.
little boy.
Because I'm standing and you standing.
Yes, because you are not obeying the rules of the House, Mr.
I just
Speaker.
read it.
You are not. The Minister of Finance, I won't be talking to the little boy.
Honorable MP, please resume your seat.
The Minister of Finance, listen, Mr. Speaker, let me tell you something. There's 40 years I spent in this House, and you cannot break the rules of the House with impunity. You cannot do that.
Allow the Speaker to speak, please.
Well, I've done so, and I'm making a point.
But you're on the floor as you are the Speaker.
The Minister of Finance got up and started moving a motion to close the debate. And therefore, he has that right. I have never stood up for the Minister of Finance, but in this case, I have no choice because this is a fundamental rule. And anything else that happens here, Mr. Speaker, I will not be part of this because my legacy would imply that I stood when the fundamental rules of the House are being broken, and I participated in this. I would not be part of my legacy in the twilight of my representation and service in this Parliament of this country, Mr. Speaker. And I really wasn't looking for this. But it appears that I have no choice. As one who has spent his life in this Parliament 40 years, going to 41, and to see the rules being broken with impunity, I have a difficulty, Mr. Speaker. And I mean, you can throw me out, you know. That is a simple matter. You can't throw me out.
Dr. Mitchell? Honorable MP for St. George Northwest, can you please turn off your mic? Wow. Honorable Prime Minister, you please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Just hold on, Honorable Prime Minister. Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm rising now on a matter of principle.
No.
And in relation to...
No, it's either for clarity or...
So I'm rising on a matter...
Or a point of order.
Of clarity,
the rules are clear.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my concern is that one member of this House started closing the debate. Mr. Speaker, for some reason, you were notified of a change. Mr. Speaker, you called the member to you. You spoke to the member. The member returned to his seat and continued closing the debate. Mr. Speaker, obviously, you had additional instructions. And so you stopped the member. You paused the debate of the member, the contribution, the closing of the member. You came to the back, Mr. Speaker. You engaged with us, Mr. Speaker. And then you came back and you allow another member of this House to start closing again. Mr. Speaker, it would be impossible
to sit and to partake of this. Mr. Speaker, I've heard it. If we want to leave, leave. That's not the point.
No,
Mr.
no.
Speaker, the point is
Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
and we started listening the closure of the debate. And it appears that you had other instructions.
You are repeating yourself. You made the
Thank
point.
you.
Please take a seat. Right? Honorable Prime Minister, please continue.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, well, I take it we should allow the colleagues to depart.
Right. So what happened next is that the leader of the opposition and the whole opposition team, minus Peter David, who is now independent, stayed. This is good for TV, Kim. Let's put it like this: is good for TV, not good for Parliament.
I agree. This is like some series that you're watching on Netflix, but that's Keith Mitchell. He's a showman, and he came across as being disrespectful, and he has always acted in that manner as though he's still the prime minister or still the man in charge. He has to know by now that this newcomer, this parachuter, as he claimed, this novice, these rookies beat him badly in the last election. But he just can't get over it. So the disrespect there, and mind you, the young people watching that,
Yeah.
and while some may laugh and kicks about it, but genuinely, young people are saying straight away, and you follow social media, this man's behavior is unbecoming. And somebody has to put a stop to his bad conduct. And he thinks that it's all cool for him and the NNP. But that is the kind of leadership that you want in this country. These people, let me tell you this. The Prime Minister put it nicely. Keith Mitchell is acting like this little boy who playing cricket, and he got bowled, and he decide, well, you bowl me down, or out, you just pick up the wicket and just go with it. Big and bad and bullish, for want of a better term. But imiti match, the Prime Minister went further to say he did not grow up far away from the playing field behind the school, and he knows about cricket. And when you decide to take the wicket when you get bowled out or bowled down, even if you run in the cocoa, we coming after you for it. So it's a new epoch. It's a new dispensation. It's a new team of young men and women who are unafraid. And they will not be bullied by Keith Mitchell or any one of the others. And that is why I'm saying the Speaker of the House, when Keith Mitchell continued with his bad conduct, with his distasteful behavior, should have asked the Sergeant of Arm to drag the guy out of the Parliament. In fact, that would have made better TV. I would have loved that. In fact, I could tell you, I would have easily taken a bottle of wine. We have a big bottle of wine here, I would have taken the whole bottle. You hear me? I'm telling you, they could have dragged the guy out of the Parliament because he has become useless. He leaves very early in nearly all the Parliament sessions. He behaves badly, bad conduct. His childish behavior is always on display. Look, and the guy has no substance anymore. But I can tell you, I know why he's hurting you. He's hurting because of the crowd NDC was able to get in his backyard at the Boucherjou playing field. He's still hurting from that. He cannot get over it. The election and that last rally that gone there. But folks, it is clear, we're not going back. We can't go back to that kind of behavior. In fact, someone said something today, or posted something today, and I recorded it. The person said they thought with the change in leadership on the opposition side, things would have been different. But it's the same old. And that's telling. That's telling because the expectation of many people were, well, things would be a little, I like a different man. The woman says she is a woman of the cloth and she prays and preaches, and it will be a little different, and the tone and the whole behavior on the opposition side would be different. People thought that would be the case, but it's the same 6,500. Look at it, same thing. Keats, opposition leader, Emlyn Pear, same thing, same package. Same package. In fact, Peter David earned my respect today because in his presentation, and Peter is my boy, but it's just that he was in good house and bad house call him, and then they kick him out, and he end up nowhere, but maybe he could get a lie down, as OP would say, on the floor, because the house clean, or the hot is clean, not the house. Anyways, but we don't want Peter back. Peter Goodway. Anyways, I'm saying this to say to you, Peter earned my respect today because he stood like a man, and he, in his presentation, he commended a number of things, he applauded a number of things, and he asked that some things be adjusted, strengthened, revised, amended, consulted. In other words, he was not just negative. He put forward solutions to some things. I mean, I thought when Peter was speaking that Peter was a newcomer, but then I realized Peter been there so long, and I'm looking in tongue now to see what that man really did with all the ideas and all the brilliance that he displayed. I'm looking in tongue now from Go Street to Grenville Street to Hillsborough Street to Melville Street to Halifax Street to Cross Street to Maloney Street to Dupontu Street. Everywhere. I'm looking on Young Street. I'm looking at Four Roads. I'm looking on the Carnage. I'm looking to see what Peter did. River Road, Dabo, or you call it Sanssouci. I'm looking to see what Peter, the guy sung so brilliant. In fact, he sung as though he was wearing glasses like me. Right? but I was still looking. But anyways, he stayed. He was able to articulate and say, well, these things are good, but I want to suggest X, Y, and Z. Unlike Emlyn Pear, unlike Keith Mitchell, unlike Clarice Modeste, unlike Kate Lewis. You understand the point?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't walk out. I mean, I remember when he was at NNP, he followed the leader. You remember? He walked out with
he did walk out the last time.
He walked out with Keith Mitchell and the others but now he's independent, he's standing for himself and so on. I wish him all the best. But he earned a little respect from me today because his presentation was not too negative, and he did not walk out with those losers. So, I mean, I want to give him thumbs up for that. In fact, when I see him again, me and him will drink maybe a beer, a Heineken together. So I know he like a little beer and thing from time to time. My boy, I hit him left, right, and center from time to time. But at the end of the day, is what it is. Politics is not no soft sport, right?
Yeah.
It's what it is.
718-701-5720, guys. 718-701-5720. That's our number right here. We're taking your call because we're speaking about the reaction, the aftermath of the showdown in Parliament today. And I think it was disastrous, to say the least. Because the thing about it is, just like Kem made the contrast with a cricket match where you take the stump and you run with it. But I'm thinking about kids in school. And you have your principal who might be setting the tone of how the school should be run. And you as a student now telling the principal, no, that's not how you should conduct the school or run the school. I think that, and looking at it from that perspective, how are the younger people feeling about it? How are the youths feeling about this, seeing this? What about when a police officer now is speaking to a regular citizen? Now, the regular citizen say that, well, the police shouldn't correct what the police officer, and we often hear this, Kem, where they say comply and complain.
Yes, sir. Comply first and you complain after.
You complain after. But it was a blatant disrespect right there to the speaker. And I think the speaker had a lot of patience. I mean, I don't know.
More than enough.
Yeah.
His tolerance, his level of tolerance is just too much. Because what eventually would happen, the others may think they can act in that manner and get away with it. Because another speaker would ask the sergeant at arms to drag the person out or escort them out. I mean, you can't. How many times Keith Mitchell behave like that? Grenadians are fed up. We fed up on that bad behavior, man.
Yeah, I want to play this one. The Prime Minister made that statement after it was all said and done. Take a listen.
Makes a ruling. I mean, the rules are clear. On any point that we may disagree on, or a member may disagree on, the Speaker has the authority to rule. And we cannot continue to sanction, in my view, respectfully, Mr. Speaker, the proper decorum in the House. If every time the Honourable MP for St. George Northwest feels that the Speaker is making a ruling that doesn't go in his favour, that we encourage not just him walking out, but all other members of the opposition walking out, and we keep countenancing this. So I am in fact giving fair warning that if the member for St. George Northwest does not want to sit in the House, then say so. Simply retire, give up the office of MP, have a by-election and let someone else do the job. There has been a persistent pattern of absences, a persistent pattern of, if the schedule doesn't fit his schedule, of trying to throw the entire sitting into disarray and making all kinds of stuff about the process and the fairness. A consistent pattern of any time he's asked to take a seat. It's basic courtesy. My friend knows that in court, if I want to fit and he stands, I sit. If the Speaker stands, you sit. And you can't be talking over the Speaker and repeating over the Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm saying this because, you know, the rules are very clear about the disciplinary powers of the House. And if we continue a situation where, and I'm saying this because, as the Prime Minister, I don't want any ill discipline to creeping on my side. I don't want any ill discipline to creeping on our side. I don't want the House to deteriorate to a point where the minute time someone disagrees with this, the Speaker makes a ruling someone doesn't agree with, they figure they can get up and walk out. And I don't want it on my side, and I certainly don't see why we should be tolerating. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm just putting on record that as the Member of Parliament for St. David, that this is not the kind of behavior we should be countenancing. And to me, at some point in time, something has to be done about it. Particularly for the other members who have no quarrel with you and who are not objecting. They already have spoken. And Mr. Speaker, I paused you. I came back in the House. We were sitting here for a while. You took a while to come back in. Even when I took the mic, I recognized that there was one other person who didn't have the opportunity to speak. And I was quite happy to take my seat and give the MP for St. George Northwest an opportunity to debate. Because at the end of the day, procedural rules aside, I have no difficulty with saying substantively you want persons, in the interest of fairness, to get an opportunity to contribute to the debate. I could have told the Minister of Finance, close the debate, in which case I didn't speak, he didn't speak. That wouldn't bother me. I have the opportunity to continue speaking. I could go and call a tongue all in Boucher's or appeal or point of Fontenoy, and we can talk about the budget perhaps better because I wouldn't have the restriction of an hour and a half. So I'm saying, Mr. Speaker, we can't have a situation where a mere difference of views over a procedural matter leads to this kind of storming out, you know, with a mother hen and the three chicken hens swallowing in a row. We have to do better than that, Mr. Speaker, and I'm simply putting it on record because I think if this continues, it will send the wrong example to our junior parliamentarians. We are training right now. It will send the wrong example to the school children who are here. You have to appreciate that sometimes people have the right to make the decision. How do you make the decision? You persuade, but if after they say they ain't changing your mind, you have that in court all the time. You talk from now till that kingdom come, the judge sits, they rock, they sleep, and then wake up and they say, Mr. David, you talk good, but sending your client up. And you have to sit down and be respectful. So I don't understand how we in Parliament, and we have someone who served as an MP for 40 years, uninterrupted, and is behaving this way simply over a ruling with the Speaker. So I'm just putting this on record, Mr. Speaker, because I've tried to stay out of it, but I think it's becoming to the point where now we need to rise the thing. I'm sure, Mr. Speaker, you saw what went on in the Bahamas, where Honourable MP took the mace and physically threw it out the window, and the police and all of that had to get it turned into a complete fish market in Nassau. And if we don't stem this, this is what it's going to lead to. Because if it's not working out one, they might take the bottle out and throw it at you. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm putting this on record because I think somewhere someone has to talk some sense into the new leader of the opposition and into the old leader of the opposition, so that this sort of behavior doesn't persist. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Right, so that was the Prime Minister there responding to what happened there earlier today. Chaos, Kim. Chaos. What you thought about what the Prime Minister said?
Yeah, but the Prime Minister spoke well. I didn't hear that part. And I said earlier, it's about precedence. It's about example for the other parliamentarians. Because over time, they will believe they could do the same thing too. And you have to put a stop to it. And the Prime Minister was gracious enough to say, well, if the other MP has to speak, he's willing to give way, to sit and allow him to debate and allow him to speak. Because this is just a procedural issue. You know, the standing orders, but they blew the thing up because they wanted that kind of confusion. They wanted that kind of tebe. They wanted that kind of bacchanal. They wanted at the end of this substantive budget presentation and all the debates with all the good things we heard in it, they wanted that to be lost. They wanted that, to be lost. And they believe that they were victorious in getting to that point. Because on social media, what people are talking about is just that. People are talking about the very said thing. And it scares me because there are a lot of good things in this budget. A lot of good things for young people. Health, the new teaching hospital facility. This is good for the country, right? Because we have a situation where SGU, the students there doing medicine, the last 2 years of practical or practicum, they have to go to the United States or the United Kingdom as options to do the actual practical training to become a medical doctor. But if we have a teaching hospital facility here, they would then have to go in the teaching hospital facility to complete their training. As a result, we would have specialist doctors at the teaching hospital facility, and it will benefit our locals because they would prefer to do a proper surgery on someone than some dead body or some mannequin or some kind of thing like that. You see? So we can also benefit significantly from that. And then again, the people, the students, for the 2 years that they normally would exit Grenada, the person who they were renting from would be affected. The supermarkets where they were buying food and so on from will be affected. The taxi or transportation or rental will be affected. So all that money will remain here. So it has a lot of good, a lot of benefits for us here in Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. So that's a major project that they're commencing. They got the lands already, and they're starting off. We also know about the plans for the new prison, for example, because this is a colonial structure. And a prison, modern prison facility, must have certain amenities, certain things to reform the inmates. They must have basketball facilities, netball facilities. They must have gym. They must have, areas for counseling, proper places for the prison officers to change to, plain area and so on. Doctor this, it's bigger than just being in four walls, right? It has to be modern so that you can reform them, so they will not be repeaters, right? Or coming back.
Right, true.
Right? Repeating and repeat offenders and coming back in the prison over and over and over again. So it's a good idea. Some people may think that the Prime Minister is speaking about building a new prison to put people, but he would prefer not to have people in the prison. You see? Which is a good idea. He also spoke about the Grenville police station. And look, some people miss the point, The Prime Minister is serious about national security. while he is serious about education, serious about health, serious about agriculture, security must be a priority. And that is why the Grenville police station will be fixed. We saw the St. Paul's police station that was fixed. The Hillsborough police station that was fixed. The police headquarters, they got that new facility on the Carenage. The Central police station is being fixed, right? And then you have the pay and grade for the police officers. They also got the 13% increase with fringe benefits and so on that they never got under the NNP. So a lot is happening, and we saw a number of recruits, batches, came in recent times, 3 or 4 batches of young police officers. Folks, this is no joking matter. And then you have smaller police stations where they're working on them. So a lot is happening for our people. You look at the airport, for example. I mean, Junior, you travel here quite often, in and out, in and out. And when you're on the plane and they tell you have to fill up this paper thing, I stoop, so I say, oh God, Grenada, you alone? You again with that to fill up that thing, right? Someone is saying to me, the Sutters police station too. That was reconditioned, upgraded, and fixed, right? So the kiosk, the new kiosk system that would make things, seamless and paperless. You go through this, and in fact, they've improved that. And the immigration department, they have led the way from day one in terms of efficiency, in terms of competence, in terms of being able to execute this thing when other public service department and so on can't get it right? And under the leadership of ASP Puzzle, they're doing a fantastic job there, he and his staff and the workers and so on. So that's a good place to start. Because they're going across the border within the public service. So all this is what Keith Mitchell and the NNP want our Grenadian people to lose out on, to not even think about it. They spoke at length about the free tuition policy.
Yeah, Kim, stick up in there. I have a caller on the line. I've been holding for quite a bit. Then we'll come back to the free education. Caller on the live. Go right ahead, you live. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Brooklyn again. I spoke a while ago. Junior, I don't know if you can replay the Honorable Speaker for St. Mark's, Victoria St. Mark's, that's Ms. Modest. She made a statement. I do not know if she took it out of where it's supposed to be, meaning that the Prime Minister is only going to give people that voted for him stuff because they had to declare who is who so that you will know who to give. I don't know if you all can go back and play this thing and try to see if you can explain this to me, because from what I'm hearing, to me, everybody is being, treated the same way. However, this statement is sending a bad message. So maybe you and Ken can kind of try to let us understand a little more on that.
Right. Okay. Thank you, caller. I don't know if we could find that exact clip. I have her speech. It's pretty lengthy, but
yes,
I didn't
lengthy.
clip that piece.
And Junior, I think what the caller is referring to is the statement the Prime Minister made at the rally.
Yes.
She commented on that, but she took it out of context. Because what the Prime Minister was really and truly saying to the NDC supporters, sometimes the people in the constituency offices or the NDC offices, they don't know you. And what you need to do is to reach out, because you might say you're not getting help, you're not getting assistance and so on. You need to reach out, you need to connect with them. So when there are opportunities, when there are things, they can easily identify you and see how they can help you. And that is what any sensible political party will do. You need to know your demographics, you need to know your people, know their needs and their wants and so on, and see how you can reach them, because at the end of the day, they're the ones who are going to vote for you and put you back into office. So all this bluff, because remember, I stated to people in the past, the NNP just playing games here. When the NNP was in power, they dedicated millions and millions, almost $100 million towards their supporters, the poor and the vulnerable. They call them poor and vulnerable, their supporters. So you had all the social safety net programs tailored to just suit their supporters. I'm telling you, the debushing program, for example, I remember my deceased cousin, Stella Lashington. She was a staunch NNP supporter, frontline and so on. She sadly passed. I think it was around the election time. May her soul rest in peace. And I can tell you, she would call NNP people from their house, not from her house phone, to tell them, well, I put your name down for a contract. You're getting a contract, you're going out Monday. That's the NNP. I'm talking about taxpayers' money for the Bushing program. That is how they used to do it. Giving the NNP supporters all the contract to cut bush on the side of the road. And then you look at the poor relief assistance. They used to put their people, the people who are responsible for assessing, evaluating, and saying, yes, that person could get to be on the poor relief assistance program. Many times are NNP. Out front, up front NNP supporters. The money training program, same thing. And then we can go into housing repair program. They were NNP activists. They are the ones at the front line doing these things, making sure that their people get everything, the special projects and so on. Look, I am not guessing this, you know. I worked at the NNP head office. You know. I worked at the constituency office in St. John also. And I was more or less the person running the show there. So I know what I'm talking about. So they dedicated the NNP, all this talk they're talking about what the Prime Minister is right. In fact, I would say to him, everywhere you go, say the same thing. Our NDC supporters, they must know that they have to come forward because you could easily be somewhere in a community and just believe that the reason why they're not helping you is because they know you and they decide they're not helping you. But if you reach out to them and say, look, I have 3 children, one might be disabled, or I have some issues with the road in my area, you know, I have 2 young persons living in the house, they're looking for a little opportunity in this area, they finish TAM CC, you know, things like that. And they create a database so they can act from there. That is simply what the Prime Minister was simply saying, you know, saying to us, come forward, do not wait, come forward, and you shall be assisted, because there are many programs and things that are happening. We don't want you to get left out. And Junior, I must say that we are also on Vibes 101.3 FM and 106.3 FM at this point in time. You know, running the program concurrently because I'm on, it's 8 o'clock. So yeah. I'm of the view that that is exactly what she misunderstood, but deliberately so, giving the impression that he was saying, well, the spoils of the state should only go to the NDC supporters. That is exactly what she was implying.
Right.
But that is not what the Prime Minister was saying. He was saying NDC supporters at a political rally, at an NDC rally. He was speaking to NDC supporters, and he has a right to do so. Come forward. Let us know your needs, your wants. Tell us about your family, who there, what are some of the things that they might be skilled in, capable of doing, and let us see how we can help.
Right. I want to look closer at Peter, Kim, right? Peter, hold on. Before I look at Peter, let's take this call. We got a caller on the line. Caller, you live? Where are you calling us from?
I'm from Grenada.
Grenada, go right ahead.
Yes, I'm calling to support him because can remember me. Me and he used to be in the South with the NNP, and what Kim said about they only get their supporters is so true, because it was part of it in the South. Me and Kim was in the South.
Yes, and Ms. Hall and the others. Yes. I actually worked at the NNP office in the South too. Yes.
Mm. Yes, and most times it's only supporters sending you to find out if that person supporting your national party.
Yes.
So this is my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, caller.
Yes, and Junior, the caller is actually reminding me that I actually worked in the South, in the NNP office in the South. It was during the Anantwine era, Mac Isaac Anantwine. So I've been around a long time. Huh? Yes.
So I want to touch a bit on Peter, because today Peter came across very tame, very timid, very kind of almost sympathetic, like to the NDC. He came out like he was. You could almost see like he was mostly agreeing with the some of the articles of the budget. Do you think Peter have a position, or do you think that he might creep in a bit and people might start to feel that soft spot for Peter? Do you think Peter have a place back in the NDC?
No. Categorically, no. Peter David, wherever he goes, there is problems, there is trouble. Peter is polarized, he's tainted. The guy might be a good talker, and he might have some nice soft spot and might be genuine from certain angles. But Peter is a goner. Peter gone. Peter is almost Keith age, you know. He's beat up in the political arena. But he also knows that history will judge him wrongly if he oppose everything that the NDC does. Because the NDC is doing a lot of good things. And he knows, unlike the NNP, MPs and so on, that the talk on the ground is that the NDC is doing a lot of good things. And if you continue to be just negative, it will rub off on people as though you're anti-government, anti-NDC, and you hate Grenada because you don't want to see good for Grenada. You know, the NNP, for example, and I'm going to come back to Peter, they condemn the pension, the paying of $75.1 million to 500 plus pensioners who work damn hard for the state. And under the NNP regime, they refuse to give them the money. They refuse to give them the kakada. You hear me?
Yeah.
NDC came in within a short time and gave them people their money.
Kem, stick up in there. I have somebody on the phone that you may want to hear from. We have an important caller on the line. Honorable Andy Williams is on the phone line with us. Honorable Andy Williams, how are you doing, sir?
I am good. How are you doing?
Well, you're live on the air. If you didn't know, then you know now.
Mr. Jones is on the line?
Yes, Mr. Jones is on the line as well.
Mr. Jones.
I'm fine, thanks. That voice doesn't sound like Andy.
Hold on. Let me fix it. I guess he come into the system in a kind of funny way. Hold on. Let me. All right, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, when you get into the system, you kind of mess up a bit. So I take you to the phone line and the speaker.
Yes. Andy's voice is conspicuous. You know?
Yeah.
You hear me good now?
Yeah, we hear you good now. How are you doing, sir?
Lovely. I'm good. And how are you?
We good. Listen, we're doing a reaction to what happened in Parliament today, right? We speaking specific, everything, but we were on the topic of the showdown that happened. From your perspective, Minister Williams, what really transpired?
Well, I mean, let me tell you what has been happening, Junior, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a game of cat and mouse that the opposition have been playing with us in terms of we had an arrangement that, you know, we have more members than them in the House, in the lower house.
Right.
So we agreed that every three person that speak on our side, one will speak on their side. This morning, Dr. Modest was supposed to start this morning because three of the members on our side spoke yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But the first, when she didn't come, Ron spoke. And then she didn't come again, so Delma spoke. And then Peter spoke. And then when it was time for me to speak, for her to speak again, she didn't come. Well, I got up and I started to speak. And while I was speaking, she walked in. So then I know, you know what, she wanted to speak after me.
Right.
But, I mean, I didn't bother with that, you know? So, and again, what's happened this afternoon is that I think Keith Mitchell was trying to speak after the Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm.
When it was his turn to speak, he went and walk up and go in the back in the office, you know, to pretend like he's not there and somebody else will speak. And that is when Minister Cornwall got up because there was no one there to speak, so Mr. Cornwall got up to close the debate.
Right.
Right, and that's when the speaker when he realized that PM didn't speak and Keith didn't speak, the speaker had a call for a little recess to really discuss the matter. Right, and Cornwall agreed to let PM close out the debate if Keith did not come back and speak. And Keith, we were waiting for Keith, he never came back. So PM closed out the debate, and that was it.
Wow.
You know, but we were just playing, that's them, they're playing cat and mouse in terms of, they're trying to force her to speak and break the arrangement, so they will just not show up when it's their time to speak.
Wow. Well, let me
basically, I'm not sure that's it.
Yeah. Kem cannot hear you. I mean, you cannot hear Kim, but Kim could hear you because I had to take you to the speaker on the phone. Kim, you want to ask him any question? Because I want to play back the minister's speech as well.
Well, right. So maybe you could put him through the phone so he can hear what
Okay, all right. So let me put you to the phone so you can hear what Kim has to say. Hold on one second. All right. Go ahead, Kim.
Yeah, well, firstly, I want to commend you, the Honorable Andy Williams. I was very impressed with your presentation. In fact, I took in every bit of it from Guangkai all the way back to the end. And I thought that you represented the South well. Your constituents, they must be proud of you with your presentation, and you were very detailed and very eloquent. In fact, you're becoming a great orator. I mark your improvement over time, and I know you have some challenges, but you have been able to walk over that nicely. I want to assume that you're getting some training somewhere. I hope the Prime Minister is listening, but you're doing well, and I must commend you for that. I just want to ask you one question, but how you just do that thing, man? How you able to do that thing? How you able to walk night and day and go in all corner and make sure that the thing is possible and it happens for people? How you what you drinking? What you eating? What you tell us now, man.
Okay, all right, let's take it back on speaker. Yeah, Andy, go ahead.
Let me just. Yeah, you ready?
Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
So let me just tell you a little secret, right? After someone who wrote a speech for me to speak at today's session, right?
Uh-huh.
And I wasn't satisfied with it. So 11 o'clock last night, I scrapped it. And I wrote over a speech. So actually today in Parliament was the first time I really got us to go over the speech in full, to be honest. Yeah. But to Kim's question, listen, I'm determined. When I was outside, I was not involved in politics. I always said, boy, Andy, if you go inside it, make a difference. So for me, my aim is to make a difference. It's to help people. It's to see people life elevate. And I've always had that in my heart. So my only regret is that sometimes, I can't please everybody. I can't address everybody's situation. But whatever I could, I try my best to do. Yeah, so, and that's my motivation. And that's why I started my speech this morning with my constituency first. Because, I was saying if time ran out, at least I took care of my constituency in my speech, basically.
Nice.
And leave the ministry for last. Because at the end of the day, Junior, let me tell you something, right? Ministry don't win the elections, right? You must take care of your constituency, because they are the one that vote you in. So that's my way of thinking, and that's what I do. But let me just say that, because I made a point today in Parliament, and I understand that the opposition took offense to it. But something you have to let people know exactly as it is. I was saying in Parliamentary that in 2021, when we were doing the budget, the opposition now, while he was in office, were behind me to get the items and so to reduce the VAT on. And after 3 a.m, they were sending emails to me to get the items because, they wanted to put it in the budget. And the point I'm making is that since even before I entered politics, I was influencing the budgeting, basically, because I was advising them on some things to do. So when you hear them talk about, we young and we this and we that and inexperienced and so, Junior, we were assisting them long before that. In addition to that, I want to make this point again, because the honorable member for St. Andrews Northeast, she was speaking on the budget. And I think, sometimes my thing is that if you don't know about something, just don't get involved in it, right? Because even when last year we were talking about equity, when we were speaking about the Chinese apartments, and we saying, it's valid for $200,000, but they have been sold for $73,000 also, right? And the fact is that if someone buys that apartment, they could get equity in the building, because equity, Junior, is the excess over what you pay Okay, the difference between the value of the property and what you pay for the property.
Absolutely.
That's what is called equity.
Yes.
Now, when we're speaking about the budget now, Kate Lewis said yesterday that a current account surplus means nothing. And I mean, I'm saying to myself, if you have children inside Parliament listening, if they hear that, it's like we are teaching them the wrong things.
Right.
So I found it necessary today to set the record straight and to explain it to them in the simplest form. Because what a current account surplus is saying is that your income is more than your expenses.
Mm-hmm.
And to put it in layman terms, as I said today, if you are working for $3,000 a month and your expenses like rent and food and all these things is $1,000, it means that you will have a surplus of $2,000. 3,000 minus 1,000 is 2,000. That is what is called your current account surplus at the end of the day. Now, Junior, you want to buy a vehicle, let's say you save over the years. You save $40,000, right?
Right.
That's your savings. Every month you're saving $2,000. In 20 months, you save $40,000. Let's say you want to buy a vehicle, Junior, to go to work and so to make it easier for you. And the vehicle costs $50,000. Will you take all your savings to pay for the vehicle?
True.
The answer is no.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Loan. Exactly. You may take a loan to pay for the vehicle.
Yeah.
Now, what you do know, that loan is called a capital expenditure. Right? So, if let's say, Junior, let's say, for example, for the year, you're making a surplus of $2,000 a month, right? That's $24,000 for the year. Okay? If at the end of the year you were to do a budget, actual budget, based on your expenses and so, Junior, you will see that, okay, $3,000 is what you earn in income, $1,000 is your expense. So for the 12 months, you make $24,000, that's your surplus. And if you took a loan to buy a vehicle, then for the whole year, you will have a deficit of $26,000.
Mm-hmm.
Because $24,000 is surplus, but you buy a vehicle for $52,000. Therefore, you will have a deficit of $26,000. Now, what a deficit means is that the income that you made, Junior, it couldn't fund the vehicle for the year. You had to get extra funding. So basically, you are lacking $26,000. So, and that's all it means, Junior, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the point is this, that when you take out your expenses from your income and you get $2,000 a month, you have the ability to pay. That is what is important.
Right. Yeah.
If it was the other way around, Junior, where income is $1,000 and your expense is $3,000, then you have problems.
Yeah, true.
So with a current account surplus now, it means that you have enough money to repay your debt and everything else and live comfortable.
Yes.
So the opposition, I think they don't understand what it means. And the next thing, Junior, is that from 2015 to up until 2022, Junior, the NNP have been presenting a deficit budget. So it's not anything new. Now, what you have again is that when the actual figures come, most times you don't make a deficit because the income is always, the actual income always exceeds the budgeted income. So at the end of the period, most times you end up with a surplus and not a deficit. So, so I had to explain that to them today in the simplest form because, there is a lot of misrepresentation. Also, the opposition leader said that we were going to build 500 houses per year. Junior, we never said that. Our manifesto said 500 plus Grenadian-style housing for low and middle income families. That's what we said.
Mm-hmm.
So they are not taking a spin on it now, putting their own meaning to it, and saying something else. That again had to be debunked. But Junior, it's a lot that is said that is not true. Yeah, I mean, I give an example today when we came into office. Some of the irregularities we saw in contracts. I mean, I won't go through it tonight.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, but today I felt like the public need to know that because sometimes we don't see these things. And, but let me just give you a little hint. Even the Willis Road, I saw Nimrod going and making a video with the Willis Road and talking about the road is on pause. But Junior,
who is it? I don't.
Nimrod.
Oh,
the one.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
He had a video where he went out and say he was calling up on Ron and say, what about the Willis Road? But Junior, what they are not telling you is that their administration was responsible. You know, Junior, they give someone a contract to build that road. Up to now, the road cannot be built. Yeah? Up to now. I mean, even the Library Road, I don't know if you remember, but when we came into office, that road, you had problems with that road. And, you know, Minister Tillisford tried his best to see how he could get it done. He got it done. But the other roads are just on pause. But they would not tell you that their administration was the one that's responsible for the whole up of the road. They wouldn't tell you that. But they would come out and pretend like if they don't know and try to call out Honorable Ron with it. You know, but at the end of the day, what we have seen is that NMPs makes the mess, NDC cleans up the mess. And the same gentlemen they call little boys, we are the ones that's coming out, Junior, to see how we can make things better when it comes to the affairs of our country.
Well, listen, I want to commend you, Honorable Andy Williams. You're doing so much work. Yeah, it's like you don't sleep at all. So my question to you is, now there's a increased allocation for MIT. What's your plans?
Yeah. No, the reason why we got increased allocations, let me just put it into perspective here, because you have to see where MIT is coming from. MIT is a small group, maybe the smallest ministry, right? It may not look so because you always hear MIT, but you can say the smallest ministry, right? And it's the newest ministry. And the first year MIT came out, in the first budget, we got an allocation of $1.89 million. That's what we got. Now we are seeing 2 years after, and we have an allocation of $47 million. And it shows that MIT is doing something good. That is why we are getting more allocation. Now, the reason why about half of that amount, Junior, of the $47 million is for World Bank projects. And why we got that? Because the first World Bank project we got was the one with Fort George, which we are transforming now, we are doing now. And because we handled it so good, the cabinet thought it would have been good to give us the rest of the project so we can implement. And that's what MIT is about, boosting implementation and taking on the difficult projects that other ministries may find, it difficult to deal with. So we have 6 World Bank projects. You will hear us talking about it in days to come. But one is a GRIP project. That's where we are going to work on the coastal areas of Maki and Soubise. And also we are going to work on the Baltazar Bridge. Every time you have a downpour of rain, heavy downpour of rain, the Baltazar Bridge always floods.
Yes.
So that GRIP project will be raising the bridge, expanding the bridge to ensure that flooding is a thing of the past. And it is set to start in October of this year.
Nice.
Right? So that's for the GRIP project. We have the OECS Health project, where we are going to increase the capacity of our health or medical centers and increase the capacity in order to respond better to shocks, for example, like COVID. Yeah? And it entails a lot of medical centers around the island. That's the OECS Regional Health Project. Right? We have the Fort George. We have the Data for Decision-Making project, where that project deals with really computerizing or digitalizing the government records. And it even have a component in it again where we give scholarships to folks in order to increase their capacity in terms of statistics and all these things that follows with that. Yeah? So all these are part of the World Bank projects that MIT now will be implementing. Before we were working along with ministries, but now we have the project in our hands to implement. And in addition to that, again, we have the Build Back Better houses that we are continuing. We have our community roads, and so that we are continuing again. We have our basketball court project. We have the Stolarized projects. Yeah. So we have a lot doing, Junior, and we are still working along with other ministries to ensure that other projects are implemented at the same time. So it's a small group, but we are known for our effectiveness, right? And I wanting my staff work. They go beyond the call of duty on a daily basis, and sometimes I get a praise, but they are the one that really push the work, Julian.
Well, listen, we think you're doing a good job, great job there at MIT. Kim, any last word there for the MP?
No, I just want to say to him, take good care of himself and keep doing what he's doing. Grenada is proud of him, not just your constituency, but Grenada is proud of you. Big up your whole self, man.
All right, thank you, Minister, and we'll keep in touch, all right?
All right, thank you very much, and thanks for reaching out. Enjoy your night, and to your listeners, have a blessed night.
Yeah, man.
And take care.
Thank you so much. And big up to the folks in Carriacou too, they're listening too. Well, around Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Right. Everyone is listening.
All right, so big up the folks in Carriacou and Junior. The new word is what? Check. Check. Right? Check.
Check.
That's the new word.
I got you.
So take care, man.
All right, cool.
Big up yourself. Bless. Take care.
All right, cool. Yeah. Let's do a time check here. It's 8:26. 26. Yes. So again, guys, that was the MP, Andy Williams, doing a great job. I mean, bipartisan support. People like Andy. He is always working, always doing things. So we gotta big up Andy. I don't think any minister, any person at all, whether they for or against NDC, I don't think they could say anything bad about Andy. Andy's working.
Well, the NNP still saying bad things, right? Because you see, it's a tough thing when you are accustomed being a certain way. The NNP, they have always been negative.
Right.
So even if somebody doing something good, they will still condemn it. They will still criticize it. They will still find some way to twist it for it to look bad, which is sad. And that is why when I spoke about Peter David, I said to you, he was able today to say this is good, or this is good, but it needs improving, or I want to suggest X, Y, or Z. And that is the way it's supposed to go. It speaks to maturity. It speaks to you want to see good happen. Because it's a very difficult thing to come up against the NDC, because this is not the same NDC of 2008, 2013.
Yeah.
This is an NDC that's working. This is an NDC that's doing stuff, helping people. You hear today the whole announcement regarding health insurance. The NNP, they wanted this thing to come along. They started, they they play games. Now the NDC is serious about it.
Mm-hmm.
To bring health insurance, they're going to statutorize the hospitals, and people don't have to be scared about statutorization.
Yeah, people confused with that statutorization and privatization. They get it confused and confuzzled.
Yeah, because statutorization is just like NAWASA.
Yeah,
it's a statutory body.
Statutory body.
Right, it's a creature of the government, so it's a line minister in charge of it.
Yeah.
But you have
I have a next person on the line. Yes. We got next caller on the line, and we have this is the MP for St. George. Hold on, let me take you off of the phone.
That has to be Northeast.
Northeast. The phone line cannot give you a bit of problem. Honorable Ron Reddit, so how you doing?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. Greetings to both yourself and the most honorable Kim Jones. How you doing, my brother? How you doing?
Listen, everyone was speaking about your presentation today. Tell us some of the highlights, some of the things that you're passionate and some of the things that you outlined today in your speech.
Right. Well, first of all, I actually want to say that I didn't have enough time because there were some other points that I really wanted to make, especially as it relates to marketing board. But nonetheless, I do feel pleased that I was able to at least give the public, some semblance of debate. And in particular, when I was able to produce the report, the UNDP report, in 2021 on the state of the education system and the structures around young people and training for them to be able to convert that training into employment, and how much of a disconnect that existed at that time. it was really, really important to highlight that. Not so much so just to score the political points. I think the political points were made, but to highlight it and really put under the microscope the lack thereof of meaningful development that was taking place for a very, very long time, Junior, in the country. And the challenge is that for us to fix these things, it will not occur overnight. And so, from my perspective, I really wanted to demonstrate to the nation that notwithstanding that we've had challenges and so on, even global challenges, and we see more of it emerging now, especially with the uncertainties in relation to the policies by the US on various areas. But even with those challenges, we were able to overcome and still produced growth rates, still produced surpluses with the 2024 budget going into 2025. And so it is to say that Grenada is doing well, notwithstanding the challenges. So we ought not to paint the gloom and doom picture. We ought to get ourselves up and get work done to continue growing our economy and to continue producing for people, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
I agree. Now, at the end of the whole debate today, we saw something. I mean, for someone in television, you know, we like to see these type of things like a made-for-TV moment, but I don't think it speaks well for Parliament. What's your take on what transpired there at the end with the Dr. Mitchell?
It's very disappointing. I'm sorry I didn't catch yourself and Kim's conversation earlier on because I ain't too long getting myself. But it's very disappointing, Junior. And, you know, to be very frank and honest, I don't want to make a big issue out of this, but I will tell you this. This was something that the opposition was engaged and planning for the whole day, right? Even yesterday, they attempted to do that to see how much they can delay the member for St. George Northwest being able to present after the Prime Minister's final presentation. And then knowing fully well that the Prime Minister has the prerogative to close the debate. It ought not to have reached that level because you are not in a race when you come to Parliament against the Prime Minister or you versus the Prime Minister. You're there, as he himself rightfully said, as an equal member to contribute on behalf of the people who elected you to serve. That's the first thing that they ought to get right. And the second thing, Junior, is that when they presented, essentially, notwithstanding all the fluff and all the old talk and so on, but they are not presenting any credible data and facts. Now, the only member who claimed that she did some research was the member for St. Mark, who was able to produce a list of what the EPS service provider for medication offers. But even that list that was produced did not say its availability. It only stated what they have as medication. But it didn't say whether or not the medication was available, whether or not there's a shortage of that medication, and to procure it, you would have to wait until the OECS PPS gets it, etc., etc. So I'm saying that more and more, the discussions from the opposition lacked significant research and intelligent conversation. I think the Honorable Peter David, member for the town of St. George, and he has no choice because he's independent. He presented what he deemed to be a genuine response, not so much with the vice versa and this one versus that one kind of tactic, but he presented a genuine response to what he thought was the situation with the budget. And he identified, in his own words, some gaps. The truth about it is, that is the level of debate that we need, where you can put forward your ideas, as he repeatedly mentioned, and the government, certainly through the budget, puts forward its ideas for the way forward. And we debate around that, not on personality and people business and, rumor and old talk and, every little thing that you see posted on Facebook, come in and regurgitate it in the form of a quote-unquote speech to Parliament. We deserve better than that at the level of Parliament. And so to degrade the Parliament down to that level, always have to create this bacchanal. Again, this was well orchestrated. In my humble opinion, there is no argument here about the standing orders and all these other things. At the end of the day, it clearly just demonstrates mischief. And because they did not dominate, they came up with some kind of creative way to make a whole mess of the thing. And at the end of the day, take the headlines away. Now, had we went ahead and allowed the Member of Parliament for St. George Northwest to present, I guarantee you that what would have been presented was not substantive. Because in my humble opinion, I believed he was ready and willing to not present at all today, given the fact that he just wanted to be able to go after the Prime Minister. So whatever the Prime Minister would say, he will then go and seek to respond to it. So it was a game of cat and mouse. He hid. And then when you recognize, well, it looked like they'll close the debate, and then he saw the Prime Minister return, he then came back out and tried to now create all this contention and all this kind of mischief. But it was really, really non-genuine. And it speaks to the grading of the debates at the level of the opposition that they want to continue bringing to the parliament. And this is nothing new with them, Junior. As you could well remember, you could recall the investor with the Kawana Bay resort and how derogatory the very member of parliament was in his position as prime minister. So this is a normal practice for them with the Bacchanal, Mobile, even when they had no opposition in government. So we were not at all surprised. We were not at all impressed. And we are not at all concerned so much about what they are not saying. I think what we are saying is that the parliament, the standard we want to maintain, the importance of debate, discussion of ideas, is what we need to continue to promote rather than this bacchanal and drama that only seeks to try to give them a headline or two to stay in the press and without doing any of substance.
Okay. Kem is also on the line. Kem, let me just switch you over, Kem. Kem, any comments there for the minister?
Yeah, well, again, I want to start off by applauding the Honorable Ron Redhead. He has never disappointed. He has always presented from the heart, wanting good for people in St. George Northeast. My thing is, Ron, how do you see the former opposition leader or the old opposition leader? How do you see his behavior impacting the younger people? Because in the parliament, I realize you had school children, young people in the parliament attending and listening. How do you believe that would negatively impact them down the road, his behavior? Because it's not new. You're accustomed with that kind of distasteful, disgraceful, and disrespectful behavior. How do you see that playing out?
Yeah. Well, first off, Kim, what I would say is that from what I saw this afternoon, it's clear to me that he's still the quote-unquote leader. And while I wouldn't get into that internal business with the no opposition, but it's clear to me that we are back to square one as it relates to opposition in this country. The rhetoric and the old talk, again, does not surprise me, but certainly it does not augur well for the future and the younger generations. And that's the point that we are making at this level. While we may have disagreements, while we can use the political picong now and again to be able, and the satire, to be able to bring forward points when debating, when discussing, and when exchanging ideas, etc. But we must not allow it to degenerate into this derogatory thing. And it's always, if I stand to be corrected, for the last 3 budgets that I could recall being a part of in this house, the pattern is extremely consistent. At the end, you make some drama, you try and get on, and always, I am your little child. I am your little child. This is becoming as a broken record. And I'm saying, while we would like to be discussing more and more of the ideas, Marketing Board, for example, is going to be transitioning, as you know, into a PPP entity, or rather another kind of state-owned enterprise, so to speak, with a private sector combination added to it. And so we are looking forward to see how that will perform, maybe much better. You can break the monopoly on sugar, all these other things, which might be able to drive the price of sugar and all these other things down. So that is a kind of discussion. And for people who have been there this length of time, they must be able to offer something a bit more substantive than that. But however, their only aim is to come and complain, say the worst sets of things about government, and try to get people to believe that somehow or the other, the country is going a backward trajectory when it is total opposite. So I don't think it augurs well for the younger generation. I think it's a very disappointing thing to see. And somebody who's been of service for the last 40 years, he can probably make you scared to want to hold on to power, and maybe make sure that every organization and politician to come has a succession plan, because we don't want to end up like that, embarrassing yourself at this level, at this stage, when you have served so long. And that is what you have come to at this day and age.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, MP, and continue to do a great job there. Continue to speak. And I mean, the people of Willis, Lynn and the folks at Willis, they are cheering for you. They say, me,
Akim too, don't forget Akim.
Akim, Lois, JJ, everybody cheering for you. So big up yourself, Minister. We'll keep in touch, all right?
All right, thanks, man. Guys, take care.
Yeah, man, cool.
Blessings.
Yeah. So, guys, an extended program right here. We're live. Kem, what's the station? They give the station a plug again.
Yeah, it's Vibes 101.3 FM and Vibes 106.3 FM throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. And big up Kim the King. He has always been there to get the message out. Junior, a point that I want to make. You see, NNP is not following the trend. In other words, they're not on top of their game, because we are in 2025. We have a younger population. We have more access to information, to the technology. And as a result, the young people are following current affairs, following discussions, following things that are happening in the country. So that kind of conduct will not be accepted by the young people or by the Grenadian people altogether. If you follow social media, right, you would realize that people had harsh words for Keith Mitchell, Emlyn Pay, Kate, and the NNP. They were not easing up on them with that kind of conduct. You see, in the past, when it was black and white TV, in the past when very few people had cell phones and that kind of thing, then you could get away with that kind of conduct. But not now. We have more people living in the cyberspace or on the internet, more or less, than anywhere else. A friend said to me, you don't need to go to a person's home anymore. You can reach them via social media, right? Instagram, Facebook, X, or wherever, WhatsApp, and that says a lot. So I think they got caught with their pants down, the NNP. They thought that the public would react differently to that clown show that Keith Mitchell put on. But the public is just not accepting it, and the public is angry about it, and they're expressing so openly.
Yeah. We have another caller on the line, and somebody said, I'm calling everybody. Why don't I call Peter? So I might give Peter a call just now. Caller, your live. Where are you calling us from?
Junior, I'm calling from Canada, and unfortunately, I don't have a second feature device with me. Is Ron still with you guys?
No, Ron is not with us, but I'm sure he's listening, though.
Yeah, I wanted him to address the mischievous video Nimrod make in Vendome pasture.
Right.
If you have a chance, ask him to call back, please, and touch it, please, because it created some controversy here,
Right. So we'll
call
ask.
him back.
Okay.
And just give a little enlightenment on that, please. Please, we need it.
Okay, all right. Let me see if I could get him back.
Yeah, but Junior, I can actually comment on that too.
Okay,
You know.
Kim has the facts on that. Yeah, Kim, go ahead.
Yeah, because look, this is an ongoing project. Domrod went on an ongoing project where workers are working and decided to do this propaganda video to achieve what you see. You think it's easy, Junior, to spend money on something and you thought you were going to win, and this little young fella come and beat you so badly, he's hurt. So he's going about in the constituency making a fool of himself because the guy invested a lot in this thing and he got his tail whipped. So look, I pity Domrod, and at the end of the day, the people of the Northeast, they already gave their verdict on his stupidity. People are not studying. You see what they're doing? They're doing these little videos and they're paying to sponsor it. You realize under it is sponsored. So they pay to appear on everybody's page, even if you don't want to see him or even hear about him. So, you know, it's a laugh.
Let me try and see if I could get Peter. You think Peter will take my call?
Well, I'm drinking some LLB, so maybe he might just take your call.
Let me see.
I don't want you to believe I'm drinking wine. It's just LLB.
LLB, okay, let's get that clear. You ain't drinking wine, you're drinking LLB.
When they're drinking wine, they would know. I'll tell them.
Yeah, let me see if I get Peter, boy. Peter is my boy, by the way. Me and Peter speak from time to time, but Peter does very rarely take my call, so I'm not sure Peter will take the call today. Peter probably watching the phone like Junior. George calling me, boy. Peter answer the phone. Somebody tell Peter answer his phone. Peter said he don't want no part of this, boy. Somebody tag Peter and tell Peter I'm calling him. Answer his phone.
But he should be quick to answer the phone because his presentation was not too bad, you know.
Yeah, and we give him a lot of credit. I mean, he should quick answer and say hi, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Peter.
But he's a coward, huh? Generally, Junior might be sad, but he's a coward. The guy is a coward. He doesn't like any hot seats. I can tell you that. If I see him in a funeral, maybe we might make a whole talk, or if I see him at some event, you know, that kind of thing. But generally speaking, the guy's a coward.
Somebody tag Peter and tell Peter answer his phone, or tell him call right along. We'll give him. We have 1,700 people or so on the live. YouTube, Facebook, it's a worldwide thing. I mean, after this video is played, probably have 100,000 views. It's a good opportunity to show him, you know, if he has something to say.
Yeah, and look, Junior, I'm happy that the NDC administration remained focused throughout all of this, and all the presenters on the government side, they represented well. They made us proud. They outlined what they did for the last number of months and what they intend to do with the allocations or with their allocation for the next 9 or 10 months.
Yeah.
And I think that, to me, deserve commendation. And I hope that, you know, between now and the next 6, 7, 8, 9 months, we can see the fulfillment of the many things that they announced that they were going to do. And we need to support them.
Yeah.
We need to support them to make sure that they do it. Because, look, Grenadians have a high expectation when it comes to the NDC. But they have done well.
Kim, let me call Delma now.
Anyone you get, we're here, you know.
Yeah, there we go.
There's no rush.
Calling Delma. I'll call Dr. Keith too. He probably not going to answer me. So we call in Delma. How about if we call Deacon?
You never know.
We'll see. So we call in Delma. Delma is probably what? Doing what now? Probably
she might be praying. She might be in the church, you know.
She probably in church, yeah. She probably heading back home. So Delma is ringing out.
Religious, you know.
Chem. It's called Deacon.
Yeah, I think you need to try, you know, it's a good opportunity.
I'm trying everybody. I'm calling Deacon. I'm calling Deacon.
You never know.
Yeah, I'm calling Deacon. See, Deacon on the.
Yeah.
I know he's crazy busy. Well, it's not even. His phone is probably dead. Probably 100,000 people called him. So his phone is just saying ringing.
Yeah, I remember when I broke.
We're not gonna get Deacon. Yeah.
Yeah. When I broke cell phone gate, I remember calling Bola and the others, saying to them, well, what you have to say, those guys were in shock. So, but at the end of the day, the folks today, they represented us well, and I want them to continue on that path. I always say use Andy as a case in point, as an example of dedication, of commitment, of hard work, of going above and beyond to bring, the deliverables, to bring the goodies to their constituents. And I think if they can do that in every constituency, we can see great things happening for our people.
Let me call Emily Pierre.
Not going to answer you, boy.
Not going to answer. I'm going to call her still. Busy.
They block.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a block.
Yes, that's a block.
That's a block. I'm sorry. Okay, we got a call on the line, by the way. Somebody call us. Call your line. Where are you calling us from? Okay.
Good night.
Oh, yeah, sorry, caller. Go ahead. My phone is giving this kind of bad feedback thing. Yeah, go ahead, caller.
I'm calling from New York.
New York, go right ahead.
Junior, I'm just so disappointed with the behavior today. While at work, I go get snippets here and there. But I think, excuse me, this does not set the right example and tone for our young people. We just celebrated Women's Day, and we highlighted the work of women. And women, we are the backbone of the home, the community, at large. And when we have to stand for something, sometimes we have to pull y'all men aside and put y'all in check.
Yeah.
Right? And I think it should have been a check today. No, we cannot be doing this. We cannot continue on this path. We are in a new era, right? We're in globalization, technology, transformation, and stuff like that. And no, there's nothing wrong with opposing. Nothing wrong with opposing, but oppose to make sense.
Yeah.
Oppose for development. But we have this TV-like environment. What are we telling the world? What are we presenting on the world stage?
Yeah, I agree.
It doesn't. It stands for something, and I think. I'm sorry, Junior, but I also think that the Emlyn. I think it gave an opportunity to show her leadership skills learned over the years, and she failed.
Mm-hmm.
She failed miserably. And all of them combined doing that does not give us women the opportunities that we fought for over the years to be at this point. How can we celebrate you? Someone with common sense, education/common sense, could tell me that they're going to accept and appreciate that kind of behavior in the parliament.
True.
We can't. And something has to be done. And the PM, our beloved PM, eloquently put it at the end and said, something has to be done.
I agree.
Something has to be done.
Yeah, and the Prime Minister spoke about it, at the end there. So definitely, let's see Parliament take some kind of stance against something like that. But caller, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
You're most welcome, Julia. Have a pleasant night.
Right.
Thank you, Kim.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so let's call Toes. I'm calling everybody. I'm name dropping tonight. I got everybody's number. Let's call Toes. Lennox Andrew. See if he answers. So we're calling everybody tonight, guys, because we want to get a reaction. This is Right Along Live, and Toes did not call. Okay, he's probably busy. Let's give that to him. He's probably busy. He's probably busy. The phone rang once, and Toes said, "Nah, let's call Tevin. I mean, I'm name dropping tonight. This is Right Along Live, guys. We got connection with everyone. I mean, we have everyone number. I'll call the Dr. Keith after. So this is Tevin. And Tevin is always boots on the ground, eh? He always working. So I don't know if I'll get him. Let's see. I don't think he'll work him. But Tevin was here yesterday already. You know, Tevin said his piece already, man. Tevin said his piece. But Kim, last one. I'll call back Peter. I'll give Peter the benefit of the doubt. How about that? Right? I'll give Peter the benefit of the doubt. Call him back one more time. All right. Because we just want to get everyone's reaction on what transpired today. And this is Right Along Live. I mean, when they see Right Along, they should answer because they know it's important. I don't just call just for calling's sake. Call for a reason. This is Peter again. This is Peter. Kev, if I get Peter, I'll give you $100.
I don't think Peter will.
I don't think he'll answer either.
Yeah.
Don't think he'll. Nah, Peter ain't gonna answer.
See, what's happening is that
Hold on, Kim. Sorry. I got a caller on the line. That's not Peter. Someone called on the phone line, Kim. So hold your thought right there. Caller, you're live on the phone line. Go right ahead.
Yeah, Junior.
Hi.
I don't know what could be done, but what powers does the Speaker have to take sanction against such behavior, if you know? Maybe Kem might know.
Right. Good question, Kim.
No, the Speaker is in charge of the House.
Is what you call a habitual offender of protocol.
Right.
The Speaker's in charge of the House. The Speaker could actually sanction Keith Mitchell. He can suspend him from 5 sittings. He can do a number of things.
You know, maybe they should dock his pay when he behaved that way, because he docked the teachers.
And I am all for that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Junior, I am for that. I agree with the caller.
He's so mild-mannered. He's so nice.
Yeah, the Speaker was very patient today. I mean, the Speaker was very patient.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, caller, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thanks for calling. Thanks for your input. 718-701-5720. We're live. Right Along Live. Someone said we should call MP James, Karine James. Let's see. I'm name dropping tonight, guys. I'm showing you guys I got it like that. Me and Kim got everybody's number. Right? We got everybody's number. See if no, we're not gonna get Karine. Her phone is saying call in, so it's not. She don't have any data.
Yeah, and I could imagine the amount of them who will call you back.
Yeah. They're gonna call me back because someone probably calling them and say we're name dropping. We're calling everyone, but they're just not answering. I don't see anyone else. Okay, Kim, you don't look like anybody else want to take my call.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, I think people kind of get the gist of the whole debate and so on tonight.
Yeah.
And we're almost out of time, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to thank you, Junior, for having me on. I want to thank the listeners and those who viewed, listeners on the radio, and those who viewed. And I think we had a wonderful time for the last 2 hours and 13 minutes.
Damn, long time.
Yeah.
2 hours and 13 minutes.
Yeah, time flies.
Time flies. Kim, hold on. Last call. Let's take this person calling me, so let's take this call on WhatsApp, and that's going to be a final caller, and then we're going to wrap it up. Caller, you live? Where are you calling us from?
Just calling to tell local Django. Okay, bye.
Thank you so much. All right, cool. Kim, we'll stay in touch, my brother.
Yes. Plenty love. Appreciate, man.
Yeah, man. Cool. Right Along Live, guys. Yeah, we no more calling nobody. That's it. Let me see who's calling me. Let's see who's calling me. Caller live, where are you calling us from?
New York.
New York, go right ahead. Yes. New York, go right ahead. I'm listening.
Good evening.
Yes.
On a serious note now about what happened in Parliament today, after you have been in that position for 40 years and you are about to exit, don't you think you should be thinking about your legacy I am seriously thinking that something is definitely wrong with Dr. Keith Mitchell. I am thinking that my mother is in her 90s, and I know when she was 80 something, she was started to lose it because she has Alzheimer's. On a serious note, I really would like somebody to look into what is happening to that man, because he came off to me today that somebody that is losing their marbles. I don't want to be cruel. I don't want to be mean. That is just my opinion. And if he can do that, imagine what the young people are taking away from that. What are we going to do? Breed a generation of delinquents to follow him?
Right.
So I'm really sorry I have to come out like this, but that's just how I feel somebody should look into this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. All right, guys. Someone said call Uncle Tilly. Let's try call Uncle Tilly. Let's see if Uncle Tilly is going to answer the phone. Let's call Uncle Tilly. Right along live. We're calling Uncle Tilly. See what Uncle Tilly feels about this.
Hello?
Uncle Tilly, how are you?
I'm okay, yes.
Junior
Hello?
George here. You live on Right Along. Sorry to call you an impromptu like that. How are you doing today, sir?
Well, fairly okay.
Nice. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay.
By the way, again, we're live. So I just call in different individual, random people, and asking them what they thought about the whole display in Parliament today.
Well, I'm not too au fait with it because I was at a funeral for most of the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
It's tonight I came home and just saw snippets of the news. So I haven't got any background, any details to it, except I saw them walking out.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, but walking out is not something new. I mean, we've seen episodes in the past. Yeah.
I was kind of surprised because I find the debate was going on very well.
Yeah. All right, Uncle Tilly, probably sometime next week after you get a chance to review it and stuff, I want your full opinion on it after you prepare and you really see what went on.
Okay, then.
All right, thank you. So how are you doing? How is Hermitage? How is that area up there?
Okay, man. Hermitage is quite okay. Quiet, but okay.
Nice. Thank you, Uncle Tilly. We'll keep in touch, all right?
You too, man. You take care and all the best.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm name dropping tonight, boy. I am name dropping tonight. Right along live. Finally someone answered. Yeah, finally someone answered. Let me call Kirin back, because Kirin, let me see if Kirin have data. Still calling. Kirin phone probably dead. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program. I got some closing thoughts right after this. Don't move.
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or
Right along live again. We are here. I think I have a caller. On the line. Let me see if I could get this caller through the system on the direct phone line. Caller, you live on the direct phone line. Go right ahead. Okay, guess not. Let me see. Caller, you live? Hello?
Hi, I was going to ask you if you could call Kenny Loud, please. Because on previous job, I see
hold on 1 second. Sorry. Yeah.
Can you hear me clearly now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Right. I was saying, I'm suggesting that you reach out to Kenny Lansing. I know you probably have his phone number.
Yeah, okay, good.
I think as a previous Speaker of the House, he would be very knowledgeable as to the rules, regulation, and context of this whole scenario. So I think that would be a perfect person to reach out to with knowledge on the situation itself and what is expected and tolerated.
Absolutely. Let me call Kenny Lansing. Thank you so much, Gabby. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Let me call Kenny Lansing. Good. That's a good one. By the way, MP James just messaged me back. She's engaged in something right now. So let me call Kenny Lansing. Kenny Lansing. What I have Kenny Lansing name as again? Oh, there we go. Somebody said I should call Kennedy Boudlal. So we calling Kenny Lansing. Yeah, yes, guys, I have everybody's number.
Hey, hello.
Hey, Mr. Kenny Lansing, how you doing?
I'm okay, I'm good.
Junior George here, just calling random people. We're live on the air, by the way. I was just calling random people. And asking them what their thoughts are on what happened today. And someone just called and they say, we should call you because you are former Speaker of the House and you saw the conduct today. What was your thoughts?
No, I didn't see anything much, because right now I'm in the U.S. on business.
Oh, you're in the U.S.
I only pick up bits and pieces.
Okay.
From the media. But I really haven't followed it. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. All right, so listen, when you get a chance to see it, I want your views on it. I'll call you back sometime in the week so you give me a little view on it after I get a chance to ingest it. All right, cool.
Right, no problem.
All right, cool, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he didn't get a chance to see it. I want to ask him about if he didn't get a chance to see it, right? Exactly. Clement don't take my calls, guys. Clement is my homeboy, but I don't know why Clement don't take my calls. Clement is my boy, though. Hi, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program, guys. Don't forget, if you're in Grenada and you want to be a part of the experience, right? It's the experience. The experience. Ride excursions and tours, guys. This is what we're talking about. Book your tuk-tuk tour. Book your tuk-tuk tour. Book your e-bike tour at ride.gd. That's ride.gd. Check it out online at ryde.gd. Book. Even if you live in New York, guys, and you want to book for a family or friend, you could call ride.gd. That's ryde.gd. All right? Don't forget, check it out, ride.gd. We got another caller on the line really quickly. Caller, you're live. You're our final caller for today.
Hello?
Yeah, hi, you're a final caller for today. How are you?
I'm good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Turn your background down. Turn your background down a bit, because I'm getting a feedback from your television.
Okay. Yeah. Not for long.
Yeah.
I'm just calling to say that the behavior with Keith Mitchell today was really atrocious, and he has set a very bad precedent for our young people. And besides that, for the members on his side, because was it last week or whenever, even Kate Lewis, the way she spoke to the Speaker of the House with no respect, demanding him to do an investigation. From that point, I said that is wrong. And today, once the Speaker stood up, I thought Keith Mitchell would have had the moral to sit down and respect the Speaker. So this is bad. And for Emlyn Pierre, that's a roller coaster down the hill for her right now, because she's not showing leadership. Keith is still the opposition leader of the NNP. So this is all I have to say.
Thank you so much, caller.
It's really bad.
Thank you so much for your input. Yeah. Okay, guys, let's wrap it up. We got to wrap it up. You guys have me talking for a whole 2 hours. I got to go. Carnival Spice Mass 2025, guys. Now, you guys are fully aware of Amazing Colors, right? So this year, guys, Amazing Colors would be brought to you by Ride. So it will be Ride Amazing Colors, Monday Night Mass for Grenada. Now get this. This year, we're doing 1,200 Monday Night Mass packages. 1,200, not a lot. I mean, usually we do 2,400. Last year, we did about 500, but that was because of Hurricane Beryl, right? But this year, we're doing 1,200. Monday Night Mass with Amazing Colors. The theme is going to be called the Experience. I'm telling all you early, the Experience. And it's going to be one of the best experience you ever had. We're rebranding the thing. We're coming with some brand new stuff. It's the Experience. Monday Night Mass for Grenada Carnival is the Experience. A lot of big brands, a lot of big sponsors, and we only have 1,200 packages. Packages will go on sale soon. So if you want to play Monday Night Mass with Ride Amazing Colors, Ride Amazing Colors, stick it here. I will give you more information when you can start a book. So get your stuff in gear, because you know some people last minute. Always wait last minute to buy packages and things like that. Nothing so this year. Get it early, get it quick. And we're going to be teaming up with some other bands as well. So the thing will go quick. Monday Night Mass with Amazing Colors. It's Ride Amazing Colors. The Experience. The Experience. It's going to be an amazing experience. Monday Night Mass with Amazing Colors. Sponsored by who? Sponsored by Ride.
Sheer delight, making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along life, if you please.
More information will be posted from next week. In fact, you can start getting your packages next week, you know. You can start getting your packages next week. Get ready for Monday Night Mass like no other. Ride Amazing Colors. Ride. Oh God, I'm looking into this camera. The camera is here. Sorry. This camera here. Ride Amazing Colors. On the road. Spice Mass.
Together we plant the seed.
Ride along. Catch you guys again tomorrow. Good night.
Sing the song. From island to island, strong with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride is sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island, strong with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride is sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease.
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians! From wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up several notches, but the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
Looking for the ultimate island experience? Hop on the Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tour and explore Grenada like never before. Feel the tropical breeze, sip on authentic Caribbean rum punch, and cruise through Grenada's stunning scenery in our unique and fun tuk-tuks. It's the perfect blend of adventure and island flavor. Book your unforgettable tour now at ride.gd or call 473-422-1011. Don't just see Grenada, experience it with Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tours. Are you looking to take your business or event to the next level? Advertise on Ride Along Live and reach over 10 million viewers worldwide every month. With a global audience tuning in for the latest news, entertainment, and culture, your message will get the exposure it deserves. Don't miss the opportunity to showcase your brand to a diverse and engaged audience. Ride Along Live, where the world watches and your business grows.
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or
Ride Along Live.
Island to island strong, along live, worldwide. Feel the beat, feel the amazing host leading the ride. Power to the people we shine, giving fans what they need. Caribbean spirit, let's succeed. Every show with a good deed. Together we plant the seed. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride is sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride is sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host